Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. In about 24 hours time, we will know our European faith. In about 24 hours, it's time to knock those Dutch rats down the sewers again. Press conference day today, media day, very long press conference. I mean, it took me ages to break this down. I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that both of the two guys who spoke today were speaking Italian, so their answers were elaborated, very long answers. De Rossi and Cristante sitting on those stools today in front of those microphones to release the press conference before Feyenoord. As always, I'm gonna focus on the manager one, but I'm gonna mention a few things on Cristante, because you know what? There's a difference between Italian players going in live with press conferences, Italian press conferences, because they actually say some interesting things. No offense to the guys who don't speak Italian, but the guys who don't speak Italian, they always say the same things. You know, Cristante spoke about the change between Mourinho and De Rossi and how up to now it looks like an interesting change. And the change right now looks, it looks a good change. The decision had to be made. It was a tough decision to make. But up to now, it looks like it was the right decision to make. So that was interesting. Definitely didn't expect a player to say that. And then he spoke about tomorrow's game. You know, he's a Roma player since quite a long while now. He's lived these European nights. He knows what it means to play a decisive European game at the Stadio Olimpico with 70,000 fans chanting your name. And tomorrow, Cristante wants to win for the fans. That is what he said. But let's focus on what De Rossi says, because it really is. As we said yesterday in the preview, it's kind of a pivot, this is. It's a pivot for De Rossi in a sense that it's his first in or out game of his managerial career. Later, tomorrow night, De Rossi will know if his team will advance or not. And this is kind of a crossroad. It's the first game of his managerial career where it's a now or never, it's an in or out game. So it's very interesting to see how he himself is preparing for such a game and how he's preparing the team for it. So let's get into this. Like target, you know what? Let me insist. I like the 70s. I like the 7. Add a 0. 70 likes. Let's hit it. It would be great. First question is, what will the approach be like tomorrow evening? Approach is key. Approach is vital. I will tell you why. Now, if in the first 10 minutes the team plays aggressive and the team plays with an incredible intensity, that intensity that the players are going to show in the first 10 minutes of a game is going to fuel up all the atmosphere around the players in that stadium. And that's very, very, very important to understand in such a game. If the first 10 minutes of tomorrow's game are going to be attack, 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 goal, goal, I need that goal, I need that goal, shoot, shoot, shoot. If that is the recipe of the first 10 minutes tomorrow, the stadium is going to fire up double the amount of times and the intensity than it would fire up if it takes 70 minutes for the team to unlock and start playing with a high intensity. So the first 10 minutes and the approach to tomorrow's game is key. Because if the approach is great, the approach of the fans will also be 10 times better than what it will be if it takes 45 minutes to unlock Roma. So that's very important. This is what De Rossi says. From a training point of view, if Feyenoord get those 2-3 players back, which were missing in the first leg, something will obviously change because they would be a better side compared to the first leg. But the attitude will be similar because we drew in the first leg and no team really is in a state of advantage. With that being said, we have to win and we have to score a certain number of goals. We need to score and we need to go through no matter if we score first or if Feyenoord score first. And it wouldn't be madness if we saw a similar race, an equal race, like the first leg. Again, approach is key. approach tomorrow is fundamental. Um, that mindset tomorrow, stepping up for the warm up, they just final players need to be hypnotized, okay, and we need to just throw all of the voice cords away for those players tomorrow. That's what the stadium needs to look like. Final players tomorrow need to go back in Rotterdam with curly eyes, like you see in cartoons when somebody gets hypnotized. That's what we need to do. Hypnotize them, and then we kill them by scoring a goal. That's the game plan. Hopefully we can kill the game plan. Number 2, is it fair to ask Lukaku and Dybala for a bit, for a bit more, something more in tomorrow's game? When we analyze what the players are giving us, we have to analyze a little more than just a goal. For journalists, a goal is the simplest thing to analyze, but I evaluate the performances and how they enter on that pitch, what they provide to the team, and that is the idea of what I want from both Paulo and Romelu. I'm happy with them. I'm extremely happy with them, and we will have to go through to the next round with or without their goals. And that's facts. That's facts, because Roma isn't just Lukaku and Dybala. Roma is 11 players. Roma is the players who will come on. The team isn't just made up of Dybala and Lukaku. Yes, okay, Dybala and Lukaku might have some qualities that other players in this team don't have, and it's normal for the other players to rely on them to maybe unlock these games and win these games. But it's a collective job. It's not an individual job. An individual job is tennis. Football is 11 against 11. The ball is round. Football's unpredictable. And that's why not only tomorrow's game will be hard, but we need to try and command tomorrow's game without, even if Dybala and Lukaku don't step up on that pitch in the best conditions, that is not a justification for us not playing like we play every single game. Yes, Lukaku and Dybala might want to give, and maybe we need to expect from them a higher contribution than what we might expect somebody like Spinazzola to make. But it's an 11 against 11 sport. Anything can happen. It's a teamwork. And on Sunday against Frosinone, if there's one thing that game taught us, is that we can win games even without Dybala and Lukaku. We were used to, under Mourinho, we were used to a system which was heavily dependent on Dybala and Lukaku. If there's one thing that I'm noticing under De Rossi, is that more players are getting contributions. The fact that Huijsen, Paredes, Azmoun scored against Frosinone, the fact that neither Dybala nor Lukaku really did lead to the 2 goals scored against Inter. The fact that, yes, they can give that, and they need to give that contribution, but it's wrong to say that this team can only win with their support, because we've proved this wrong. No matter who steps on that pitch tomorrow, they need to pull up a fight. And that's what I expect. That's what I want to see. And that's what I hope we can see tomorrow. Then obviously a question on the atmosphere tomorrow could not be missed out. Tomorrow there will be a record attendance. It's an 11 against 11 sport. Yes, but how much of a difference can the atmosphere and the fans make tomorrow evening? By the way, there is a record attendance tomorrow. I read this Instagram post which said that tomorrow's game is gonna have more fans than last season's Feyenoord game. Now, I was there last season, and the stadium it probably looked like, even though it's always the same number of fans, last year against Feyenoord, it felt like there were double the amount of fans that there are normally in a stadium. That's what I want to see tomorrow. But statistically, tomorrow there are apparently 400 more fans than what there were last season in April when we faced them and beat them 4-1. So that's always good. That's always good because, number one, it proves the fact that, with no Mourinho, there are not going to be fans at the stadium. It proves that wrong. And number two, it proves that the fans believe in this European tournament. You know, the way the media is depicting this is that without Mourinho, we won't go far. Maybe that is the case, 100%. But we need to fucking fight and believe in that Dublin final. That's the base of everything. I've said it again, 100%. Mourinho was the key to us reaching 2 consecutive finals and lifting a trophy. But the players are the ones who play. And these players have reached finals. They can do it again. It's hard. Yes, it's hard. But why not believe in it? The fans believe in it. The players need to believe in it as well. And De Rossi needs to believe in it. Because yes, he is in Mourinho, but maybe he can pull something. And then another thing is that interesting that apparently tomorrow's game is going to be broadcasted in 80 different countries. So that's big. Worldwide event. Let me know in the chat where you're going to watch tomorrow's game from. Always very interested to see where you guys are from. But yeah, what will the atmosphere mean tomorrow and how much of a difference can it make? It's something that doesn't leave us indifferent. In my first days as a Roma manager, everybody was saying that that it was hard to recreate unity since there were many divisions, a lot of discontent, and we wanted to bring everybody back to the stadium. Tomorrow there are going to be more fans sitting in that stadium than there were last year. We are happy that this is happening, and this obviously lays on us an extra responsibility. If there had been a few thousand less, it would have been the same. So yeah, it needs to be a catalyst. The fans tomorrow need to be a catalyst because the players need to play for us, and I think it's also a nice message, no doubt. It's a nice message because, yeah, it means that the majority of Roma fans, us, weren't just sticking around because of Mourinho. And again, I've said it again, I think it's, of course you can be both a Mourinho fan and a Roma fan, but I think you either are a Mourinho fan or a Roma fan, to be honest with you. I have nothing against Mourinho fans. You know, there are a lot of Mourinho fans which left Roma on a great note. There are a lot of Mourinho fans which don't know anything about this and are spitting absolute shit facts. But yeah, the fans are there. Mourinho isn't there anymore, but yet another sold-out stadium. And that's big because it's a decisive game. It's an in or out game. Now or never. Let's do this. Let's do this, lads. Let's do this. Right, second and last question here is, it's the first crossroad in your career as a coach. How much does this result tomorrow change for you? More than a crossroad, I would say that it is a decisive match because it can take us out or it will make us continue as we would all like. We feel that thrill of the matches from inside or outside. In my career, I have played many games of such importance as a coach, and now it's different, it's a first. And I have to deal with different things, but I will prepare tomorrow's game in the same way as I prepared a fundamental game when I was the football player. The things I prepare are the same ones I would prepare even if I wanted to win a league game. So that's also that's also good to know. In terms of it's an important. It's again, as we said yesterday, I think it's a checkpoint. It's wrong to define this a crossroad. I mean, it is a crossroad because, you know, we either continue straight and go onto our next obstacle, or we either turn right and end our European path. Yes, it is a crossroad, but giving De Rossi such a responsibility of calling this a crossroad is wrong because it's not a crossroad for his managerial career. It's a crossroad from Roma, for Roma, for the players, for De Rossi and us fans as well. It is a crossroad. In terms of De Rossi, I think it's more of a checkpoint because I think after tomorrow's game we can look back at this first stage on De Rossi and give an initial rank, give an initial vote, give an initial judgment on what these first few weeks have been under De Rossi. And if we win tomorrow and we qualify for the next round, I can only say that I was definitely not expecting such a big influence from De Rossi, and I hope that's the case. I hope we can all celebrate tomorrow evening, and let's bring it on. Right, let me read just a few comments and then we'll speak about the last one. I think Pellegrini, Paredes, Bove is your best midfield. Yeah, but Bove is unavailable tomorrow because he's got a red card. Tutto bene, Nicolas. I'll be watching from Mexico. I was bummed out there that Star Plus did not show last week's match, says Aira Carino. Shout out to you. So the last question is on injuries. Defense. How is Ndika? And can there only be 3 defenders when Smalling plays? In other words, can Smalling only play with a back 3 or can Smalling also fit in a back 4? Ndika is fine. He only did 1 training session with me because he had a bit of a flu coming back from Ivory Coast, but he is better now. Yesterday, it was a day of relaxation, so he won't be 100% fit tomorrow, but he will be on the bench to give us a hand if needed. So that's already a question mark removed. Ndika is not going to start tomorrow's game. As for Smalling's entry into Frosinone and the 3-man defence, I put him in because I wanted to make a substitution that would allow him to get a few minutes back in his rhythm. My goal was to get him to play and get him back with his teammates. It was a calm situation because we were leading 3-0, so I'm not going to judge what Smalling did in those 5 minutes. But because we added an extra defender. He has played with both a back 3 and a back 3. So if he happens to play in a back 3, he'll remember how to do it. I mean, looking at this, I think we already have a few question marks removed from our predicted 11, because listening to what De Rossi said, neither Ndika or Smalling are going to start tomorrow, which suggests to me that the starting defensive duo is going to be Llorente and Mancini, because Huijsen is not included in the UEFA list. It's a risky one, because I think Mancini and Llorente together is probably the weakest defense line, if I'm being very honest with you. I think Llorente has ups and downs. So I definitely think that Llorente and Mancini is weaker than Mancini or Ndika or Mancini and Smalling. And it also cost us an important goal in the first leg. That stupid goal. I always get that goal back in my Instagram DMs. How did we concede that goal? I still question that to myself. So yeah, Llorente and Mancini do need to be careful because they are weak. It's a weak defense line. But there's nothing we can do about it. Ndika can come handy. He's going to be on the bench, but he's not fit 100%. Smalling might come in just like he did against Frosinone, but he definitely does not have 90 minutes in his legs. And Huijsen isn't on the UEFA list. So we're kind of forced to start with that back 2. Because De Rossi is not going to move from a back 4 to a back 3. Tomorrow, we're going to play with a 4-3-3. That's what De Rossi has implemented, and that's what De Rossi wants to bring. But yeah, with that being said, I would have started Ndika as I did in my predicted 11 yesterday, but apparently he's not fit. So Llorente and Mancini it is. The key to the defense tomorrow, just like any game, is concentration. Because I read this incredible statistic, which kind of scares me because it does scare me a bit, because I think it could act as a massive jinx. But apparently the last time Feyenoord won an away game in Europe, it was like 10 years ago. That is crazy. That shows that Feyenoord away from the De Kuip is a very weak team. I'm scared of this statement because look at how unlucky we are. The day they turn up, they win after 10 years in Europe. This shows us that Feyenoord away from home is a weak side and that they don't play as good as they do play at home. So that's something to consider. If we play concentrated, I also think we can keep a clean sheet tomorrow. The concentration amongst our defenders is the number one factor of keeping clean sheets. If Llorente tomorrow falls under pressure, we're conceding. If Llorente and Mancini tomorrow know what they're doing at every single exact minute of that game, don't feel the pressure, I think Jimenez will easily be pocketed. But it depends on avoiding to make unnecessary mistakes. If we're under pressure, kick the ball away. Kick it away. Don't start playing in the box. Don't do what Ibanez did. If we're under pressure, kick the ball away. Worst case scenario, it's a long throw for them. You know, avoid making stupid mistakes like we did in the first leg with that goal that we conceded. And if that is what we do, then we're going to win tomorrow, and we're going to advance to the next round, and we're going to send them home. That is my press conference reaction, ladies and gentlemen. I just want tomorrow evening to come. I am feeling the pressure because it's an in or out game. Of course we feel the pressure. But I'm confident. I am confident. I've been confident for this past week. I know my team. I know how this team plays at home in these European games. I know what us fans, me, my dad, you, can bring to that stadium tomorrow if you're going to the stadium. Bring your voice, because worst case scenario, your vocal cords gets destroyed. Best case scenario, we advance to the next round. I am convinced that we're going to go through. And I've repeated this because I want to make myself loud. Remember I said this. I said this the second the first leg ended. We're going through. We're going through. Dagje. I'm going to catch you tomorrow with a stadium vlog, hopefully. It's going to be a banger. I'm already working on it. So hopefully tomorrow evening you will notice and watch a banger of a stadium vlog. It is a banger. I've been spending this last week filming the introduction for tomorrow's video. Now we just need to win, and the vlog will arrive on your home pages tomorrow evening. So set the bell notification, because if we win tomorrow evening, the first thing you want to do is just watch that vlog and enjoy it. So yeah, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. As always, as I said yesterday, be safe. Apparently Feyenoord fans are in Rome, some of them, the more violent ones. So if you're sticking around, especially in the center of Rome, Campo de Fiori and all of that, be careful, because they are violent. So safety first, without a doubt. Let's eat them up. Let's send them home, boneless. As we said, as we've repeated, as we've emphasized, I'm so ready. I hope you are as well. And dagje Roma dagje. We shouldn't be scared. We shouldn't be scared. Watching from Helsinki, shout out to you, mate. What are your thoughts on Bove? Yeah, that yellow card was unnecessary, without a doubt. We need to keep an eye open for the balls and not only the ball, says. Good point. Lorenzo dagje. Dagje! Dagje! Talk to you soon. Good evening. Sleep tight if you will sleep. Or if that adrenaline rush will be too high, then it's gonna be a long night. But yeah, sleep tight. Feyenoord, we're coming.